Hey everyone, I'm Jennifer Podemski. I'm the Director of Future History, and I'm sitting here with our lovely co-hosts.
I'm Sarain Fox.
I'm Kris and Sarain.
So we wanted to thank you for watching today's episode of Future History and give you a little sneak peek of some stories from behind the scenes. So this episode was our Origins episode, which actually was really interesting because we got to hear your story. We got to hear your story, which I thought was really special. And although I've known you for like almost, your whole life, I learned a lot about you, and I still like you. Still like you a lot.
Good news, good news.
Okay, do you have any exciting or funny anecdotes about shooting this episode that begins with Isaac Murdoch, of course, and then we go to your community and we go diving, which was that was an experience in itself. And then, of course, with Sarain, we went up to your community, which was also quite an experience. So who wants to start?
I'll go.
Okay.
Yeah, I think for me, the behind the scenes stuff is when we go down to the boat and we're going to go over to the island and check everything out. And the day of it, I went to start, it wouldn't start. So I had to have the motor done so we could get the boat to even run. And I think in the first episode, I actually say, "Oh, well, good, it started." And Sarain's like, "Yeah, first ball." And we actually got to go over and do what we had to do, and then we got to go diving. And I think the diving was so exciting. It just brings everybody to a whole new level, especially me. And Sarain as well, because she kept losing her camera everywhere. We had to go find her camera for most of the show, most of the underwater stuff. She just come up and
tell them about what happened with the artifacts.
Oh, and then
My God,
yeah. So we had a hard time finding artifacts, even though they were there. And I brought them up and I gave them to Sarain, and they kind of just fell.
I knocked it right out of your hand. You were still.
I'm like, "Look at this, Sarain!"
At
And
the surface, and he's like, "Look at this awesome thing," and she's like,
I was like, "Let me see."
And so we didn't have an artifact for the show, so I had to go back down for like another 20 minutes and try and find something that we could introduce for the show. But that was pretty exciting. But chasing you around and looking for your camera half the time, all I'd see is fins in the air sticking out of the water. And "Are you having fun yet, Sarain? I can't find my camera."
That was pretty scary for you, though, hey, because you had not dived before.
Yeah, so I had my certification and I had gotten it in August, and it's really fun when you get your certification because it's like, yay, I'm pro. But then I hadn't been diving since, and I also learned in Hawaii, beautiful, clear, warm blue waters. And then we woke up that morning, the day we were gonna dive, it was freezing. Yeah. And I just remember right before I jumped in, I was like, I might not make it. I don't even know if I know how to dive anymore. But I was all right. Yeah. And you know what else is that, other than the artifact thing and the GoPro, when we were with Isaac Murdoch, do you guys remember that the sun was moving so quickly and we needed some shade on Isaac's face? So I actually had to drag a tree out of the woods, and I held a tree over my head to be sliding shade for Isaac. So I was the lighting.
The sun was moving so quickly. So that nice little shade you see in front of Isaac's face, there's these leaves. It's actually Sarain holding this massive tree she found on the ground.
Yeah.
It was crazy. And that was also the day that I got lost in the woods with our camera operator, and we walked in the wrong direction for 1 hour in 35-degree weather.
With no service.
And I have walking problems as it is, and he had every piece of camera equipment on him, and we thought we would be eaten by a bear. But that was, didn't end up happening, which was excellent. So we kept shooting, and yeah.
And even when we went to shoot with my dad, it was crazy how that unfolded, because we didn't even know if my dad would agree to that. And, there were so many things that we could have done to sort of share my story. And so I can remember the night before being he's an elder. He might say yes, no, and we don't know. And just that being a big risk.
Yeah,
so
it all worked out. It was really nice, really emotional.
That was one of my favorite episodes. This is one of my favorite episodes, guys.
And it was flooded. We had to walk through them to get to the docks. Remember, we had all our camera gear and water up to our knees.
That was the longest 20-minute boat ride I ever took. Oh yeah, it's only 20 minutes.
Far away, 20 minutes.
3 hours.
Yeah, 3 hours later.
3-hour tour. Okay, guys, thanks so much for watching, and stay tuned for the next episode of Future History, and keep following us on the socials. Bye.